This is going to be for my Scorpio risings or my Libra risings in late degrees, okay? Either way, you would have Taurus transiting your 7th house, but I feel like this should more so be like Scorpio risings, okay? Now, the 7th house deals with partnerships, marriages, business relationships, and one-to-one relationships, okay? Think about what's been going on ever since November 19th, 2021. There could have been a lot of issues that came up in your 7th house of relationships, right? Maybe you were in a relationship. Maybe you decided to break up with someone. Maybe you decided to get engaged to someone. Maybe you started a new relationship. Maybe you had left a relationship. Maybe you divorced someone. Regardless, this played on your one-to-one relationships and kind of you putting other people first, or you learning, like, relationships have been your classroom over the last 2 years, right? And whether people treated you well or didn't, this is about the boundaries or lack thereof that may have come up. Now, the energies that I have in front of me, we have the Death and a cross, and we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Moon reversed. And automatically, off the bat, this tells me, I feel like a lot of you went through a lot of death changes, right? Now, Scorpio is all about life and death transformation. You're not afraid of death. You're definitely the one to go balls to the wall and tear some shit down, destroy some shit just to rebuild it. But I almost want to say it's like it was like a constant life and death transformation. Constant cycles. It feels like the wheel of fortune that just keeps going round and round and round and doesn't stop. So it's almost like constantly running back to that toxic ex, or constantly, running away from a good person, or being afraid to speak to a good person, or being afraid to be in a healthy, loving relationship and deciding to be single, or refusing to stop hoeing, or like it just feels like a constant struggle. And almost like an avoidance of learning and healing, or maybe a constant death process, but not learning from the death process, or constantly learning without applying, right? But to me, it just screams disharmony. It screams being out of alignment, and out of alignment specifically with other people. So this could have been a lot of group conflicts that came up in your one-on-one relationships, okay? It feels like just for the last 2 years, you could have felt like you was fighting for your life. No matter who it was that you spoke to, whether it was a spouse, a partner, a teacher, a boss, a friend, a best friend, it just felt like nobody got you, or you didn't get anybody, or you just felt like maybe you were on an island by yourself. And I feel like it could have been because there were a lot of insecurities that you were holding back. There was a lot of fear, maybe, that you were holding back, a lot of darkness. Maybe you were misinterpreting things, or maybe there were things and truths that were right in front of your face that you weren't necessarily receiving. That relationship that you thought was great and healthy, maybe it was toxic all along. That boss that you thought was looking out for your best interest, maybe they were trying to fire you all along. These are things that could have been coming up, and especially around eclipse times, there could have been pivotal, life-changing crises that came up that forced you to realize, like, oh shit, like I thought things were going one way and it's actually going another. Like I've been completely blindsided. But that's the energy that I'm getting for you, is that the last 2 years it felt like blindside after blindside after blindside. And I don't even know if it's just silly in ignoring of red flags, more so of just being suffocated by them. Now, the energy that we have from Spirit, the protection message. Well, actually, before we get into the protection message. Let's go ahead and get into the protection message. Yeah, let me do something a little different. Let's get into the protection message. So, now is the time to address the cracks in the foundations of your life. Perhaps your values have changed and it's time to strengthen your convictions and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do, because Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life far beyond your imagination. Do not be afraid to replace what's not solid. And I feel like that's the hard lesson y'all motherfuckers had to learn the last 2 years. I do. Those people that you thought was there for you ain't. Those people you thought that was there for you ain't. Or on the flip side, it could be those people that you didn't think were there for you were. But those people that you thought were there for you weren't. You're running away from what it is that you truly wanted, that you truly desired, that you truly needed. Afraid to speak up. There's a lot of trauma there, and we don't have time to unpack it, okay? We don't have time to unpack it. But what I will say is that with this final eclipse happening this week in your 7th house, this is a destined shift around your relationships that's arriving. This is a great moment to focus on what you give and what you receive. And I'm going to tell y'all, like I told Tauruses, this is about your boundaries. So definitely make sure that y'all listen to the Taurus reading, because it might be some gems in there for you to pick up as well. A milestone moment could be here for you, such as moving in, getting engaged, making long-term promises, or even being wed, like having a wedding, right? Or even having a baby, probably, okay? But if you're not aligned, if you are still unhealed and life is still kicking your ass and you have not learned from the lessons of these last 2 years, you can break apart. If you're single, you could be looking for somebody who's seeking a long-term relationship. Good luck, Scorpios. Good luck. Definitely make sure you go to my website, thealigningsouls.com, to book you a personal reading. They are 50% off up until Sunday, so take advantage of that. It is the last promo deal of the year. That information is down in the description box below. Good luck. Okay, what's going on?